Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
The Afterparty is a show on Apple TV Plus starring Tiffany Haddish. So many great. Sam Richardson. Let me run through some of these names. Zoe Chow, Ike Barinholtz, Eliza Glazer, Ben Schwartz, Dave Franco, John Early from the Search Party show. That's amazing. So many great actors in this show that is basically like a comedy Rashomon style show where each episode tells the series of events from a different person's perspective, and each perspective is told and shown in a style that reflects that character, which I appreciate. First off, this is a show created by Christopher Miller, who is known for the Lego Movie, 21 and 22 Jump Street, among many other things. A show that I really enjoyed watching. I enjoyed the fact that each episode was, again, a different retelling of the events of this after party that happened during a high school reunion. One of the people ends up dead. Dave Franco's character ends up dead. And the cops are there. Tiffany Haddish is the investigator, and she's there to interview and to figure out what happened. And the first episode is Anik's episode, which is Sam Richardson, and it tells the events from his story, from his perspective, and it's told in pretty much like a rom-com type of a way, because he is going to this reunion in hopes to connect with his long-lost crush from high school, who is played by Zoe Chow. Her name is Zoe in the show. So the first episode is from his perspective, which Sam Richardson is hilarious. He's great. Werewolves Within, great movie. Everybody should go watch. But a really fun episode to kind of introduce everybody. Introduce the kind of the subplot of him trying to get with his old crush, and all of the events that happened. And it's great. The next episode is Brett, and it's told from basically Zoe's ex-husband, and it's told in like an action movie type of a style. Then the third episode is from the perspective of Jasper, who is Ben Schwartz, and it's a musical style of his idea. So he's related to the group where he used to be in a band with Dave Franco, in a ska band with Dave Franco, and they broke up back in high school. And now Dave Franco's like this big, whose character name is Xavier. Xavier's like this huge pop star now, and Jasper has this desire to get his first shot again. Great musical moments. There's 3 Dots is a great song. His One Shot Again, I think it's called One Shot Again, which is kind of the play on the Hamilton song. A really fun episode when Jasper is telling his side in this musical moments. Then 4th episode is Chelsea, who is Alana Glazer's character, and it's more of a horror film. And then the 5th episode, it's all back in high school. Basically, it's told from the perspective of this guy that nobody really knows. Like, he's always been there. He's always been around, which is a funny aspect to the story, because during these flashbacks, like, some people, like, nobody remembers that he was there, and then when he's telling his side of the story, like, he's all of a sudden in all of these scenes that we have seen a bunch of different times, and we just never noticed it. Like, the most unforgettable, so much so that his episode isn't even named after him. His episode is just high school, because he's taking the crew back to a time where because one of the things Anik, in addition to wanting to rekindle this crush that he had with Zoe, he also thinks that Xavier is pranking him because he wakes up covered in beer with markers all over his face. Like he passed out at this party and he got written on, which happens when you pass out at a party in high school. But now they're adults. He thinks it's Xavier too. That's why he is the prime suspect. But back in high school, we're seeing why Anik thinks that Xavier did it, because there was a similar thing that happened where Anik got drenched and had his pants pulled down. Which also, in addition to waking up at a party soaked but also written on, was his pants were down as well. The Many Faces is an ongoing abstract ink portrait series that I started many years ago. I release a new face every day, but go to inspireddisorder.com to check them out. So many available. But as a listener to The Ray Taylor Show, you can save 10% when you use coupon code INSPIRED when you check out. So go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF. That stands for The Many Faces. Go check them out, browse the entire collection, and when you decide on a piece, or maybe multiple pieces, make sure you use coupon code INSPIRED when you check out, and you'll save 10%. As a big thank you for checking out my work, for collecting my work, and for listening to The Ray Taylor Show. And with that said, let's get back to the show. So back in that high school episode is great. The aging down, whatever they did in this show to age down all of these actors for the high school episode, amazing. The best I've seen it done ever. And I reviewed The Adam Project on Monday. And that movie has probably one of the worst aging down characters in it, where this show, like, it is amazing. Like, Alana Glazer looks like she is way younger. Everybody looks like they're way younger somehow. Some of them still look kind of old. But, like, whatever they did to age these actors down, amazing. And then you have episode 6 is from Zoe's perspective, which is all animated. Not the entire, but most of the episode is animated, which is amazing. So much fun. Then episode 7, we have probably the most different episode, because it is showing the kind of the prequel of the cop of Danner, who is Tiffany Haddish's character. You're seeing how she started as a cop and wants to be an investigator, and has this kind of like rival that's, this white guy that's getting all of the opportunities, where she's just struggling to try and prove herself. Amazing episode. Took me out, out of all of the episodes, because it's so different, it's not showing you the events of the party, obviously, because she wasn't there. But it's the most different episode, and it's the episode where I just, got lost in the episode and forgot, I kind of forgot what show I was watching, because I was just watching this other thing happening. So great. And then the last episode is told from the perspective of a kid, from Brett. Brett and Zoe have a kid together, and the kid has been supposed to be waiting out in the car during the events. But she was the last person, the only person that wasn't interviewed to get her perspective. So that whole episode, not the whole episode, but a big chunk of that episode is from her perspective. And it is amazing. Just to see these same events being described from all the, every episode is on some level the same as the last. It is just differentiated by the style that it's told in, and the kind of the aesthetic of each episode. And the episode with the kid, Maggie, episode 8, is like the way the characters talk, the way the characters act. It is the best to see this show turn into a child show, to see like from the perspective of a child what she may describe the events like. So hilarious. Probably my favorite. The music, there's a lot of these episodes are great. Episode 7, the most different though, because it takes you out. Also, the final episode, I mean, episode 7, we get to see Tiffany Haddish do. I'm a big fan of Tiffany Haddish, have been a fan of hers back when she was just a stand-up comedian going on podcasts. And then she blew up with Girls Trip and has been on this roller coaster ride of success. I love it. I'm a huge fan. I want nothing but success for her, and was super happy that she got cast for this show. Was one of the big reasons I was excited to see the show. And in the last episode, her character comes alive. Like, the fact that she was cast as this person, like, she's the investigator, she's the Sherlock Holmes, she's the I forget the guy's name in Knives Out that solves the very end of these mysteries where they put all the pieces together and they reveal the truth of who the actual killer was. I think her character truly comes alive in that last episode and makes me so excited that they signed for another season, which means that Tiffany Haddish, basically it's going to be her investigating another crime. It also sets up potential for Sam Richardson to come back as like her potentially as like her sidekick, even though Detective Culp, John Early, the guy from The Search Party, plays basically her partner in this show. But it really felt like Sam Richardson might be the sidekick in the next one. She gives him her card. Maybe you'll do better, because he's like a guy who designs escape rooms and is good. He's like, while this whole season is going on, he's trying to listen in on all of these stories that are happening to try and solve it. So you have multiple people trying to solve this case. So I would love that. I would love to see Tiffany Haddish and Sam Richardson for like seasons. I hope they do multiple seasons of the show. The way it's done is amazing, but their chemistry is great, and also they're both really fun actors to watch. And they could even keep John Early around. I thought he was great in this as well. But it really felt like they were setting that up for potential second season. Join Inspired Disorder Plus today. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus to join. Membership includes members-only discounts and deals. You get access to the Ray Taylor Show completely ad-free, as well as bonus episodes. You get access to the complete live painting archive. You also get access to every single podcast ever produced by Inspired Disorder, hosted by Ray Taylor. You get access to Ray Taylor's personal blog, as well as the opportunity to ask me any questions. So if you want to start a podcast, you're into art, ask me anything. And so many more things are being added every day to Inspired Disorder Plus. So sign up today, become a member, head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today. There is one thing while I'm watching this show, right? One of the great things about watching a mystery show is, as an audience, is to try and figure out the mystery. See if you can figure out who the killer is as you're watching. And there was a piece of trivia that I read that I featured on one of my podcasts in regards to Knives Out. And the piece of trivia is that Apple refuses to allow their phones to be used by a character that would commit murder, that would be the bad guy. So I'm watching this show, looking at everybody's phone going like, well, it can't be that guy because he's got an iPhone. And I think everybody has an iPhone because it's an Apple production. Which also means that rule, that thing that I thought would be a rule to help me figure out who the killer is, does not work. Let's just say the killer has an iPhone. Let's just say that. So the Apple clearly overrode those rules that they have for a production of their own, which makes sense. They are definitely, just like when you watch, you're watching a movie produced by Sony because you will see the Sony logo prominently displayed on all of the technology within that movie. If somebody has a computer and they open it up and it's Sony, it's a Sony picture. So similarly, you're going to see that with Apple. So it makes sense that they're going to override that rule that they have. But yeah, a great wrap up, great last episode. Tiffany Haddish comes alive in that last episode. And the love story subplot of the whole thing is sweet. You want Sam Richardson's character to end up with Zoe because he's a sweet guy. And she seems like she's now a principal at the school that they used to go to. But yeah, it's just so much fun. So much fun. I love the stylish nature of it, getting the different genres for each episode that kind of matches the vibe of each character. Seeing the story, it could get exhausting. It could easily get exhausting to do a story where you're seeing the same events happen slightly different in every episode. So to make the overall vibe of each episode so drastically different helps to add some uniqueness to each of the episodes itself. So I highly recommend checking it out. There's only 8 episodes, as I said. I think they're short episodes. I don't know. What are the run times on these episodes? Let's see here. See if it even says. It probably won't. Nope. Does not say. I want to say they're not super long. I want to say they're like half-hour episodes. I want to say that because I think I binged the entire season pretty easily in the same day. It was a fun day of watching. And it's the way I would recommend watching it, too. Because it is a show. It's a show that I waited to watch until all of the episodes were released. Because I prefer to watch shows that way, one. But also, because they're showing, you want to be able to remember what that perspective was from a different person in order to, try and put the pieces together. It helps to watch them in succession as opposed to waiting a week and then trying to remember what happened in that last episode. But yeah, I loved it. I hope there's, I don't know when season 2 is supposed to come out, but it was definitely talked about, definitely was announced. Let's see, does it say on here? Season 2? No. Doesn't say anything yet. So I would imagine next year sometime. Sure. A show. I don't think they could bang it out. Maybe they could bang it out and get it out by the end of the year. I doubt it, though. So much fun. So I highly recommend checking it out. It's called The Afterparty. It's on Apple TV Plus, a service that, they have a lot of hits, I think. It's mostly original content. Unlike other streaming services that try and get content that's, older stuff. It's primarily all original content, I think, on Apple TV Plus. The original movies, original series. As far as their TV series, The Afterparty's great. Ted Lasso is great. For All Mankind is great. So far, what I've seen from Severance is amazing. So the movies, they're all right. But Coda was pretty great, which I'm going to talk about on Friday. But I'm happy with the service. It doesn't have the selection that everything else does, but they're getting bangers. I would say their ability to produce quality entertainment is on a level that like HBO original content is. I think HBO's slightly better, but they're like, I think those two are above Netflix. I mean, Netflix just puts out a ton of stuff, so it's kind of hard to compare those. But anyway, check it out. Get Apple TV Plus. Watch The Afterparty. Watch Ted Lasso. Watch For All Mankind. 3 great bangers, all kind of different. This one more similar, I would say, to Ted Lasso because more comedic. But and Tiffany Haddish, super excited to see her in the next season. And hopefully more seasons past that. Hopefully the next season is just as fun, and this is kind of a recurring thing for Tiffany because, you know, I want nothing but for success for her. But that's it. Check it out. The Afterparty. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.